So, welcome to another mini training. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Fabi. I'm a virtual assistant, systems expert, and coach, and I support other female business owners put the right systems in place, the right tech, and right support and habits to work in a more sustainable way, in a way that's more nervous system friendly, so we can work with more ease instead of burning out, what happens so often. So in this week's mini training, I want to talk a little bit more about keeping systems simple. So I work a lot with different business owners, and everyone has a lot of systems and things in place that supports them, and they're great. I think having the right systems in place is really important. But what I also see a lot of the time, and what happened to myself a lot of the time as well, is that we really want to overcomplicate the systems. And usually I think there's a deeper reason, there's something, maybe if we take time to listen to ourselves, that we want to avoid or maybe procrastinate, and then we get really hung up in finding the perfect right platform for something. And I really know the feeling. And then we can get stuck in that loop for a couple of days or even a week and really trying to find that perfect platform or system that will solve all of our problems and make everything easier. But what I've learned and noticed is that that system doesn't exist. That one perfect system that does everything for us. And if it does, please correct me. But a lot of the times I find that there isn't that one perfect system. And with that, a lot of the times we try to overcomplicate things. So depending where, I think one thing to consider is depending where you're at in your business, what do you actually need? What do you have money for to spend on? And what do you, with your current capacity and what you're planning to do, really need in your business? But a lot of the times we don't need a lot of fancy systems and platforms. There's a few things you might want to integrate to keep things simple, like automations. But we don't want to overcomplicate with loads of different things and new things that you have to learn and that cause you stress and overwhelm. And I find a lot of the times your body will show you a reaction, how you feel about something. And that might be a sign that it's not what you need right now, maybe later on, but maybe not right now. I recently had to decide between two platforms. I got myself in a really agitated state. And I decided to go for one, and my whole system felt overwhelmed and shutting down. And it's like, this is too much for me to learn right now. So I went back to basics. And I think that's always a good guideline. Go back to basics. Don't need it complicated. I found something that was simpler, that felt, that resonated. And I think our body shows us those reactions, what feels right. And that does a perfectly fine job for me at this stage where I am right now. And I find that's a lot, often the case, that we don't actually need something super complicated that just causes us more stress and overwhelm. So you can keep things simple. So really have a look at the systems that you're using, what's causing you overwhelm, what you don't even want to open because it's stressing you out or you don't have the time to learn. And then just having a few simple things in place, like a very simple website, one that you can easily use. Maybe email marketing platform. Again, one that resonates. There's so many. Find the one that resonates with you. Try out a few. There's always free trials. And then go with your gut instinct, what feels right. In the past, I've prioritized things that did actually cost money over things that felt free just because they felt better to me. And I found them easier to navigate. So it always comes down to, as well, what works for you. So system that works for somebody else might not work for you. And then, so we have website, email marketing platform, and they're the main ones pretty much. Depending on the rest, really depends on what you do. If you use a lot of video, you might want to use some simple platforms for that. But they're really some, good main ones. And then Google Documents is a great way to organize yourself. You can start for free. So just using Google Drive to keep everything organized. And I think that's one where we get a lot of the time a bit overwhelmed. We want to find something that does everything for us. But a lot of the time, a simple spreadsheet does a great job. You know, you have your automations if you have an email system, and then just keeping a space like Google Drive and organizing it in a way that works for you, where you find all your documents, where you can, you know, create your content. And I'll be sharing another video around that, where you can save all of that, what, you know, where you can have your finances, you can have all your client, you know, stuff that you need to work on, or your projects that you're working on. Really great way to organize it all, and you can access it from anywhere. So we don't need all the fancy platforms out there. And one thing I forgot is maybe another thing might be a booking platform, but again, there's loads of free ones to start with. And then later on, you might, you know, more clients to get, you might want to go to a paid version. And I have a page on our website with free resources where I share lots of different like kind of platforms that you can start out with, without going overly complicated. So keep things simple. If you're, as I said, really notice why you want to choose something else, or why this is keeping you stuck at the moment. So if you're getting into that state of overwhelmed, oh, I need this new thing and I need this new thing to fix everything, then really ask yourself, okay, could I do this in a simpler way? Do I really need, where I'm right now, do I need a course platform? Or do I maybe just need Vimeo, where I can store my videos, and an email platform, or even just writing emails? The more you're at the kind of beginning stage, you might want to do with things more manually initially, but obviously the more you're growing, it's good to put automations in and automate things. But there's usually a simpler way. We want to overcomplicate things. So again, you know, that's kind of a course it's, you know, I'm the first one drawn to signing up for a new course platform, but do you actually need it right now, or could you do it in a simpler way? And then once your business is growing, you might want to swap something to something else to automate things, to make things easier. But yes, I invite you to just have a look at your systems. Where are you kind of maybe getting drawn into, getting stuck into finding something new, but actually what you have is perfectly fine? Maybe there's a different reason why you're getting hung up on that. And what systems in your business could you simplify? You don't always need complicated things, just a few, you know, 2, 3 very simple systems that can work for you. So let me know your insight of today's little mini training. I always love to hear what systems are you using, and what do you want to maybe simplify? What could you let go of? What could you make simpler? Let me know in the comments, or send me a message. I always love to hear. So thank you for joining today, and I will see you again soon in another training.